Hey guys, okay, so I've got a foundation for you today. This is the new and improved, I suppose, I haven't really done too much research on it, Tarte High Performance Naturals Amazonian Clay 16-Hour Full Coverage Foundation. I got the travel size, not sample, because this is more than a sample. It has got 0.5 fluid ounces, so it's basically half the product for about half the price. I think this was about $15, although I want to say the full size of this is almost $40, so that's something to think about. All right, now I mentioned this in a haul not long ago, but I can't remember because my videos have been crazy for the past couple of weeks. But I will just mention that this particular foundation, I used it for a couple of years. I want to say like maybe 2 to 3 years, and it was nice, but I used it for a long time and it was nice, but looking back on it, I feel like it was a little too, didn't live up to all its claims, I guess I'll say. It was never 16-hour and it was never full coverage, but to be completely fair, no foundation has ever really done that. So that's that on that. So I've got this shade, which is light neutral. And if you're looking for the travel size, they don't obviously have the whole shade range in travel size, but they do have a decent shade range as far as I remember. I don't really look into that kind of stuff very deeply because I'm usually just trying to figure out if they're gonna have a shade that's gonna match me. But I do feel like they had decent fair shades. I'm always obviously on the hunt for very fair shades. And if you'll excuse my office, as you ladies know, it is only August, or at least it's still August when I'm filming this video, but I'm already like being swamped with orders, so that's just something to mention. Okay, so all sealed up for you, so that's real good. The one, I think this is supposed to be new and improved. So the one that I used in the past was sort of a moussey texture. And I don't mind that if it looks good on your skin. Some moussey textured foundations can, but some don't. So that's why we test them out, right? But so that, we'll just see if that is different. I'm gonna try and shake this. It's very creamy, so I would just assume that it's really not that much different. It's very, yeah, it looks very moussey textured in the, yeah, yep. It's got that same mousse texture. Now, this might honestly be too fair for me, but the undertone looks okay. It looks a little bit on the pinky side, so we'll see what happens. But, I do have some place to go this afternoon, so we won't be getting too crazy with makeup today. All right, so let's just dot that on. Okay, I think it's gonna work out fine, actually. No, it might be a little too light. Undertone looks decent in this lighting. Okay, they do have like this gigantic kabuki brush, and sorry I'm not prepared, y'all, but I'm just grabbing a brush. That they have a giant kabuki brush with a long handle that goes with this foundation, and I've heard that works really good. I had never cared to purchase it because I didn't want to have to be forced to purchase the brush just to make the foundation work, especially when you're talking about $40 for the foundation and then at least another 15 for the brush. That's too much for me. Okay, so I think it's looking nice so far. Good amount of decent coverage. Okay, it did oxidize, I feel like, so I'm just gonna put a little bit next to it and we'll just, oh yeah, absolutely. No wonder why it wasn't looking so light. Check this out, and then I'll, look at that. We're talking about at least one shade darker. So that is certainly something to think about, because now you might have a foundation that you really like, but you can't trust it because the shade changes. And if you're very fair and you don't have any color whatsoever, like if you don't tan, you only burn, which normally I do only burn, but since I had that tan this summer, or that sunburn this summer, it's the burn faded into a tan. I still do have some color. That's going to be pretty obvious. All right, so I'm just gonna say, like, from my face, I've got a hair or something right there. No, okay. From my face to my mirror and viewfinder, it is looking very smooth and just nice. The whipped moussey texture feels very light. It doesn't feel thick, although I feel like I'm getting some really decent natural looking coverage from this distance, okay? This can all change when I get an up close look, so we're gonna check that out right now, and we'll just see. Got a little bit of a fuzz on my lash. Honestly, it's looking very decent. You can tell I have makeup on, but it's not as crusty. Like, I tried a foundation the other day, this one, the Peri Para Double Longwear Cover Cushion. This looks absolutely gorgeous. It's just a cushion foundation. It looks beautiful when you put it on, like, and when you're like from this distance, from my face to the camera mirror, it looks so beautiful. It just looks smooth and just, oh, it just looks so beautiful. But if you get up close, I had so much foundation gunk caked up in my nose, right this crease in my nose, that I always have a problem with that. But oh, it just looks so awful. And I got into the car, we were going to church, so I got into the car and we're driving there, and I flipped down the visor mirror, and I was just like, what? It was so bad. It just looked so awful. And it's such a bummer, because like when you put this on, like if I wore this on camera, everyone would be like, that's the most beautiful foundation ever. What is it? I have to buy it right now. In real life, it looks terrible. Look, absolutely just cakey mess, as on my skin anyway. So I'm just gonna go ahead and use what's left over, even though it's oxidized, and we'll just finish up. As a first impression, I think this is looking very nice. But I'm gonna have to say that if you, it's reminding me a lot of the Rimmel Stay Matte, because that's a very moussey texture as well. And the coverage is very similar, very matte. This looks like, I would give this natural coverage on the more matte side, but it doesn't look like chalky, crusty, gross, dry matte. And I do feel like the Rimmel one is a little less, just like a hint less natural than this, but not even enough to where, like, once you got your full makeup on, people will even really know a difference. And also I think it's the Maybelline Dream Matte, Dream Matte Mousse, something like that. The Maybelline Matte Moussey foundation comes in a little jar, a flat jar. That's very similar as well, but I feel like this one and the Rimmel one, excuse me, are gonna have the better coverage and better shade if you're more fair. The Maybelline one tends to run darker, but I was gonna say it oxidizes as well, but this one did too. So I have tried the Rimmel Stay Matte mousse foundation, and that one did not oxidize at all, and they had very fair shade. So, and that's really inexpensive. I want to say it's like, it might even be less than $5. If not, it's right at $5. But okay, I do have somewhere to go today, so I'm not going to do the full face today for this video. So, but I will say that it's looking really nice, and I feel like it's even looking nicer than I remember it when I used it all those years ago. The biggest problem you're going to run into is price. It is almost $40 from what I can remember. The half size is $15. So I feel like that's a better deal, because you're getting half the product for a little bit less than half the price. But $15 is still a lot for only half of the product. And I feel like if you can go find that Rimmel Stay Matte one and try that out first, especially since it's only, at least $5 or $6, then you might want to upgrade. If that one's just not quite there for you, then maybe upgrade to this one. But again, if you try something and you don't end up liking it, you can return it if you purchase it from Ulta or Sephora in the States. So, okay, thank you guys so much for watching. And first impression, it looks nice. I really don't have anything bad to say about it, except for I do not like the fact that, like, it oxidized and is now one shade darker. Now, it worked out for me today because now we're getting a good shade and it's pretty well matched, but you can't trust it if it's gonna oxidize. All right, so thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to thumbs up, like, subscribe, ding my bell, and I'll see you in the next one. I will put all my updated thoughts in the description. Bye.